What's up, guys? I'm Chris,
And I'm Jay, and welcome to the Horror Connection, your source for all things horror.
and today we've got a couple NECA figures to review.
First, we're going to review the Gamestop exclusive Pennywise.
Then we're going to review Santi from Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone.
When you're a kid, you think the universe revolves around you. You think that you'll always be protected and cared for. Then, one day, you realize that's not true.
So we've got some ankle pivot here. It does go forward and back, not side to side, unfortunately. But, it's give and take. The knees I really like. The double joints really help with coming up with creative poses. The legs do have some sort of a spread. Whoop. So not too much of a spread. Again, I love these double knee joints, and they did a really good job of covering up the joints with the sculpt there. Looks like one fluid leg once he's posed. You do get some knee pivot. It's quite a bit actually, so it helps with creative poses. The torso is really nice up here. It has a full 360 range, which is pretty cool. You can do some really creepy poses with that. Really, the overall sculpt of this top section is fantastic. You are limited here with the arms. I'd say that's the biggest drawback of this figure, as well as the regular version. I believe that's due to the puffy blouse he's wearing. The arm doesn't bend very far backward. It does articulate forward.
So that's kind of another drawback there. You can't really do any arms back poses.
The hands, full 360. They are pretty difficult to get off, so be careful with that. The joint does feel a little fragile. The arms are nice. You do get a full 360 pivot here at about the elbow. So I can tell they really tried to make up for the lack of movement in the arms. Here we have Georgie's arm. It fits pretty perfectly into the hand. You do kind of have to give it a little wiggle to find the right position, but he holds onto it pretty well, and it looks great. Removing the head is a little stuck on there, which is a good thing. It does have a 360 pivot if you can get his hair sculpt out of the way. So once you remove it, getting the alternate head sculpt on, or even the previous head sculpt, is quite a challenge. You can remove the collar here, exposing the neck. It's a stick joint, so it's kind of, you see here, it's a little difficult to get it to snap back into place, but you definitely feel the click whenever it's there. I don't think there's much jeopardy of breaking it. Like the hands felt a little fragile, but the head, it's solid. It just takes a second to clip it back on.
A few moments later.
So we finally got the head back on. It's kind of like breaking in a new pair of shoes. When you feel that click, you'll know it's right. So here we have the alternate hand with the balloon. In my opinion, this is another downside. Getting the balloon through his fingers was quite difficult. I had to snip part of the wire and reopen the hole in the fingers. The wire is nice though. You do get some nice range. You can bend it any way you want. Downside is getting it straight again is a little bit difficult. You can kind of just smooth it out there. So here we have the box. I love this. The lenticular cover. The display window looks great. The image of Pennywise standing in the field in front of the house. This figure looks so good in the box. It was really difficult to even take him out. NECA is really consistent with that. That's one thing I do enjoy. If you don't want to remove the figure, you don't have to. The side here with the movie logo, you have the NECA logo and the Real Toys logo, with newspaper clippings from the dairy massacres and stuff like that have happened over the years.
So here we have the back featuring missing children posters with Pennywise, the dairy balloon floating, and a short synopsis of the film. Overall, the packaging on this figure is absolutely stunning.
What is a ghost? A tragedy condemned to repeat itself time and time again? An instant of pain, perhaps? Something dead which still seems to be alive? An emotion suspended in time? Like a blurred photograph? Like an insect trapped in amber?
So there's a lot to unpack with this figure. First off, the bomb is about 8 inches tall. The paintwork here is stunning. They did a great job on that. This whole diorama really ties this figure together and brings it life. From the plants to the rocks and the sand, it's absolutely brilliant. So here we have Santi. He's about 3, maybe 4 inches tall. You do have some ankle pivot. It pivots right and left, forward and back. The knee joints are incredibly fragile. We'll get to that here in a second. You have a little bit of leg motion, a little bit of torso motion. The wrists don't really have much articulation, but you do have movement here at the elbow joint. All of it feels really fragile though. I would move this figure as little as possible. The arms come up a little bit. You have head swivel and pivot forward and back. You can give him that creepy head tilt, just enough to get that perfect ghostly pose. Overall, the paint application on this figure and sculpting is, once again, unbelievable. So what we were talking about earlier, the first thing that happened when I opened the figure and pulled it out, I tried to test the articulation of the knee, and it literally just snapped right at the ball joint. And I don't even want to try to bend the other leg. It feels like it's about ready to snap as well. This figure is very, very fragile. I assume that's due to the size of the figure and the fact that Santi is a child and not a full-grown adult, like, say, the Arnold Schwarzenegger figures. So although this figure comes with that major drawback, I would still highly recommend it. Buy at your own risk, batteries not included. And that's going to be it for this review.
If you're interested in any of these products, make sure you check the links in the description below.